Philly family, what's up? If you can hear my voice right now, take a deep breath and let it out, because the Philadelphia Eagles just did it again. Division clinched. NFC East secured. And it didn't come easy, it didn't come pretty, but it came the Eagles' way. A 29-18 win over the Washington Commanders, on the road, in December football weather, with pressure, noise, and everything on the line. Let me ask you this right out of the gate. How many teams in this league survive a season like this and still end up on top of the division? Not many. And that's why today's Philadelphia Eagles news hits different. Now stay with me, because this game wasn't just about the score. It was about legacy, toughness, and uncomfortable questions we need to talk about as fans. One veteran rewinding time. One unit battling the league's most brutal schedule. One kicker fighting confidence and reality. And one moment that lit a fire on the sideline and might carry over into what's coming next. This wasn't just a win. This was a statement, and maybe a warning. Let's start with the heartbeat of this defense, because what Brandon Graham is doing at 37 years old is nothing short of unbelievable. 9 defensive snaps. 1 sack. 3 sacks over his last 2 games. Let that sink in. While the Eagles are navigating life without Jalen Carter, Graham has stepped into the storm and said, "I've got this." Not with words, but with violence, timing, and veteran instinct. He's not chasing stats. He's letting the play come to him, and when it does, quarterbacks feel it. And when Brandon Graham talks, you feel the weight of every season he's lived in Midnight Green. 16 years. 213 games. The most in franchise history. 79.5 career sacks. Yet somehow, until now, he had never won back-to-back division titles. Think about that for a second. All those years. All those battles. And now, at this stage of his career, he finally gets to experience it. That's why when he says this is just a step in the journey, you believe him. Because BG knows what it takes to finish the climb. This is why Philadelphia Eagles football is different. It's not always flashy. It's not always clean. But it's built on guys like Graham who refuse to let the standard slip. And as fans, we need to appreciate that while it's happening, because players like this don't come around often. Drop a comment right now and tell me, where does Brandon Graham rank all-time in Eagles history for you? Now let's zoom out, because context matters. This division title didn't fall into the Eagles' laps. The NFL schedule makers didn't do Philly any favors. No back-to-back home games. 5 short week games. 11 matchups against teams that made the playoffs last year. That's not a schedule, that's a gauntlet. And yes, there were bumps. A 2-game skid. A 3-game skid. Moments where it felt like this team was searching for its identity. But then came that stretch early in the season that told us everything we needed to know. Chiefs. Rams. Buccaneers. 3 straight wins against division champions from last year. 2 of them on the road. That's not luck. That's resilience. That's preparation. And that's why, when the dust settled, the Eagles were still standing on top of the NFC East. Winning ugly in December is still winning, and sometimes, it's the only way to survive. That brings us to the uncomfortable part of this Philadelphia Eagles news, because we have to be honest with each other. The kicking situation is officially a concern. Jake Elliott had one of the toughest days of his career. Misses from 43, 57, and 52 yards. Even when Washington bailed him out with an offsides penalty, the miss still followed. And you could see it. The frustration. The confusion. The weight of expectation. Elliott knows this league is ruthless. Production-based. No guarantees. And while Nick Sirianni stood by his kicker publicly, Jake himself admitted the reality. He wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles bring someone in. That's the NFL. What hurts the most is hearing him say it doesn't feel mental, because if it were, maybe it would be easier to fix. This is something that's going to be watched closely over the next couple of weeks, and you can't ignore it as the postseason approaches. Now here's the balance to all of this. Even with the missed kicks, even with the offense looking clunky at times, the Eagles have put up 60 points over the last 2 games. They're finding ways to win. They're adjusting. They're surviving. And when you hear Jordan Davis say the team is in a good spot but still has more to improve, that should excite you. Because this group knows they're not finished yet. And then came the moment that added spice to everything. Late touchdown. 2-point conversion attempt. Washington didn't like it. Tempers flared. Words were exchanged. Dan Quinn said they'll see the Eagles again in 2 weeks. Good. That's exactly how rivalries are supposed to feel. Because the Eagles weren't playing to make friends, they were playing to send a message. And if that message made someone uncomfortable, so be it. This win was about more than clinching a division. It was about toughness, legacy, and setting a tone heading into the most important stretch of the season. The Philadelphia Eagles are battle-tested. They're flawed. They're dangerous. And they're still chasing something bigger. So now I want to hear from you. How confident are you in this team right now? What worries you the most? And what excites you the most heading into the next matchup? If you're riding with this team, do me a favor. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more Philadelphia Eagles news, and share this with every Birds fan you know. Stay loud. Stay proud. Fly, Eagles, fly.